If anyone knows a good tattoo artist in Wisconsin that can turn the Raiders logo into a piece of cheese, send it our boys' way. Josh Jacobs signed with the Packers, according to Ian Rappaport. He had 5 years with the Raiders. Franchise tagged him last season. Didn't want to pay him. The latest numbers we've seen, they're just now coming up. Don't know what the
crazy, bro.
Don't know what the guaranteed money is, but 4 years, $48 million.
That's fucking insane. Insane.
We'll wait and see what the guaranteed money is. But if he's getting guaranteed 9, 10
35,
million, right? Yeah, if he's getting like, let's say it's 35 or something like that, then
that's fucking insane, dude.
Good for you, Josh. We were never going to pay that.
We were never going to pay that much.
Thank you for your service, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for what you've done for us.
Go get your money.
Oh, shit.
Never going to pay that.
Raiders signed Gardner Minshew.
I know. I saw that. You want to stay on Josh and do another one on Minshew? How do you want to do this?
I just popped up. It just popped up, and I'm like, oh, he beat us a couple times, little fucker.
Josh Jacobs. Closing thoughts. What's the exit interview? What's that like with Josh Jacobs?
Look, man, it's one thing I said before last season. The worst thing that can happen is he misses time, and Zeus goes out there and kills it. Zeus averaged 100 yards a game the last 4 games when he was the starter, when he was the guy. He averaged 100 yards a game, and it wasn't like he was against bad defenses too. He played the Chiefs. He played a couple of good defenses out there. So it's like, all right, Zeus looks like he can be the dude. We all want to talk about the defense scoring 2 touchdowns against the Chiefs. Well, you know what? Our boy didn't have a bad second half against the Chiefs, killing the clock and eating time when we needed it. And he's younger. He's less injury prone. I don't care what you say. There's no way he's 219 pounds. You just look at the dude, you're like, that's not 219. That is absolutely crazy. He must have like hollow bones or like missing some internal organs for him to look 219. There's no way.
Yeah. Exactly true. He played great for us. The injuries, the one great, awesome season coming off of not a great season. It was bound. And plus, like you said, we got Zeus White who can play. Certainly not Josh Jacobs. No one's saying Zeus is as good as Josh, but if he can play 80-85% as well as Josh and make 10% the money.
Look. Wait. I think we should look at this the wrong way. They're different players. Mm-hmm. Okay. So can Zeus go in there and run in the scheme and the offense the way that Josh Jacobs can? No, but I don't know that Josh Jacobs can run the same way that Zeus runs either. They've both shown to be good at what they do. And when Zeus was given the reins and the play calling and the way that they blocked for Zeus was just specifically for him those last 4 games, he showed he can do really well. So I'm not trying to say that Zeus can't go out there and be a 1,200, 1,300 yard back. I think he can, but it's definitely not going to look the same.
Well, I don't think that's the goal. They're not going to have Zeus be an every down back, right? Like they re-signed Amir Abdullah. They'll probably draft another running back late. It'll be more running back by committee. When you're paying Josh Jacobs, $12 million, you're like, okay, you're getting 40 snaps a game, right? You're getting 40 because we're paying you that much. When you've got a third rounder, you don't have to feel so committed to him. You can just put the best back for whatever play you're in. So I think it's going to be a lot more running. Yeah, exactly. Don't look at it as like Zeus is now replacing Josh. It's more, we've got a running back by committee now. That's a third of what
pretty
Josh
good backs.
Total. Yeah.
Pretty good backs. I keep looking at this. I keep looking at this guy. He's small. He's not as big as his dad was. But Frank Gore Jr., man, if we get up to maybe the 5th round-ish or 6th round, he's still out there, I might want to take a chance on him.
Mm-hmm. And also it's good to and not to be like revisionist history. Josh Jacobs was great for us. Loved him. Wish we could have kept him. Just weren't going to pay that running, but that kind of money when we have so many other.
Not at 4 for 48.
Not going to do that, right? Not going to do that. So I'm not trying to revisionist history, Josh Jacobs, but I think some context is important. He was a volume guy. Like that's what made him good, was that he would get 25 touches a game, and that's how he'd get his 125 yards, right? He wasn't like, you look at like his rushes, right? Since his rookie season, he didn't average great. Yards per rush, 37th. Percentage of rushes for touchdown, 23rd. Percentage of rushes for 10-plus yards, 124th in the league. Percentage of rushes for first down, 44th. Third down conversion percentage, 40th. Now, in fairness, he was on a really bad offense for a lot of that. Had really bad offensive linemen for a lot of that. And his yards after carry were fantastic. So he didn't get a ton of help. He was doing a lot of this by himself. But even with that context, the numbers he put up is because we ran the ball so much, and he was the primary back for so much of it, which is a good thing in a running back. We want him to have that, be able to do that. But it wasn't like he was averaging 5.3 yards per carry every season.
Yeah, I don't want to make this a whole discussion, but I'm going to push back a little bit on the offensive line. He had some pretty good guys out there. He had Rodney Hudson. I think he had Gabe Jackson for a year. Mm-hmm. He had Incognito, who played well. Like this last year, the offensive line didn't block great in the beginning of the year, but got better towards the end. This was probably the worst. Last year, in the beginning of the year, was the worst offensive line he had. But man, they did pretty well when he won, the rushing title. So yeah, you're right. He is more of a volume guy, and that's why it was really kind of strange to me why Green Bay would sign him when they have Aaron Jones, and they just end up cutting Aaron Jones.
Yep.
So that makes more sense now. That he's a bell cow back. If you want to get the best out of Josh Jacobs, you got to give him 20 carries, 22 carries a game, which is weird. Before we're like, yeah, I got to give a guy 30 carries for him to warm up. He's like a diesel engine, but like now it's like 20, 21, 22 carries is a ton of carries in the NFL now.
When DeAndre Swift got 3 years, 27 million, 15 guaranteed this morning, I thought, okay, I think that's like in the ballpark of what I would pay for Josh Jacobs. Swift's a year younger and coming off a way better season than Josh Jacobs was coming off of. So I thought, okay, maybe we get even less than that. You know what I mean? 3 years, 24 mil, 12.
48, man, that's a lot.
Give him I was down for like 6 mil a year guaranteed, something like that. I was down for that. Saquon was going to get the biggest deal, and he did. 3 years, 37 million for Saquon. I thought, okay,
that's a lot too.
That's a lot for Saquon. I was thinking like the Swift numbers, right? That's what I was down for. The 4 years, 48. I was like, okay, that made it easy, right? If you're getting that deal, if you're getting those offers out there, Josh, it made Telesco's decision really easy.
I would have been iffy to give him that third year, honestly. Like, I'm not trying to talk shit, but like, we just showed you why. Like, he's a young, but like his body is not young. Mm-hmm. Since he entered the league, he has the second most carries in the NFL. That's we can't discount that.
Yeah, that's real.
We have to take a look at that, and then that's something that we need to be kind of cognizant of when we talk about how many years you want to give these backs, and it's 4 years, dude. That's I'm glad someone else did it, not us.
He does have the advantage that he wasn't even the starting back in college, right? If you remember. So he didn't have the same wear and tear that a lot of like SEC running backs get. Like they'll come into the NFL already beat up. Those like 3-year starters in the SEC. That wasn't him. He's still young. So there's some elements. I can see why the Packers think they can get 4 good years out of him, but but it's true. I mean, he got injured every single year except his career, except 2 seasons ago, and he runs hard. He runs that style. He's not overly big for a guy that runs that style.
We're gonna see how those hits feel, come November and December up in Green Bay.
Yeah, now it's cold and you're playing against the Bears and going against like that NFC North style football. Again, not.
Good for him, man. He got that bag. I'm not like hating on him for getting that money. I'm glad we're not the ones that gave him those 4 years. Because I mean, the money is one thing, but the 4 years for me is. They're both a lot. I think.
He's gonna be missed. He was probably the most liked Raider on the team, other than Maxx. I would say he's probably the number 2 most liked guy. Like his story, how hard he played. It was frustrating with the injuries, but. Yeah, man. I mean, there's probably more Josh Jacobs jerseys than any other jersey other than Maxx. Yeah,
dude. This is why I always talk about, you you can love the players while they're here, and I'm not saying you have to hate them when they're gone, but it's about the team, man. And a lot of these younger fans that are that I see, that I talk to, they're all, I'm a fan of this player, I'm a fan of that player, because players change teams so often now. And if you're a fan of a team, which there's still a lot of diehard fans of teams, we have to be, we can appreciate the work that someone's done. He didn't say anything bad on the way out, and he just came in here and worked. Maybe he could have been in a little bit of better shape at the beginning of last year. He looked a little thick, but whatever, man. It happens. We can move on from it, and I have nothing but good memories of Josh Jacobs.
Good news is we don't play the Packers next season unless we're both in the Super Bowl, and I don't think we'd play them because we just played the NFC North.
We played them twice in a row, I think. 2 years in a row, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, one of them was because we played the NFC North, and the other one was those 3 last games.
That funky game, yeah.
Yeah. So we probably won't have to play him for another 2 seasons. So there's no, we probably won't have to root against Josh Jacobs anytime soon, which is nice. You don't want to have to root against Josh Jacobs. But if he's anything like that, we don't want him doing anything that hurts the Raiders.
Minshew, 2 years, $25 million, 15 guaranteed. That's about right for a backup these days.
That also makes me think that the Raiders.
We're not drafting a quarterback in the first round.
No, it makes me think we are. It makes me think we are.
So?
Because Minshew's like, you don't want, if he's starting for you, you screwed up. You know what I mean? Like, you don't. He was the type of, what I was saying before was like, look, if we're going to draft like a, 3rd or 4th, late 2nd quarterback, then I'm going to want like a Cousins or a Mayfield type of veteran. If we're going to draft high, right, trade up and get some guy that wants to be our guy, then like Minshew-ish would be kind of like my starting guy. I think this tells me that we're going to go.
We're going to have to battle, man. We're going to have to battle. We may have to trade up twice. I think if we trade into the top 10, and then we can make a move from there, depending on how the first couple of picks go. But, man, it's going to be crazy because there's going to be a lot of teams that have a lot. There's some teams out there that have good offenses, good weapons, but no quarterback. And they're going to be like, wait a second, that's why the Falcons paid as much as they did for freaking Kirk Cousins. Mm-hmm. They're like, look, man, we got some weapons. We paid our last 3 first-round picks. Was it Pitts, London, and Bijan Robinson? Like they're putting their money into their weapons.
Yeah.
So they need a quarterback. So you have a few teams out there who got some weapons. All they need is a quarterback. So we got to jump up ahead of those guys.
Yeah. You got to bounce, right? I got
to take off. Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Maybe we'll do a Minshew video tonight, this afternoon or something like that. Maybe. All right. Maybe. Keep an eye out for the Minshew video. But Christian Wilkins is a Raider. Josh Jacobs is not. Gardner Minshew, and hopefully he's a backup. Day 1 of free agency. Tom Telesco got busy. Busy. All right, we'll keep you guys updated on everything going on. Videos and live all coming. And until then, knock on wood if you're with me. Hey, you made it to the end of our video.